morning, and thank you very much for allowing me to come here. And I'll walk back. Can I take my jacket off? Yes, do. Please. You never know when you ask them to speak of exactly how you should dress. And you always want to make sure you put your best foot forward. I'm a sports guy. I don't know much about your world. I really don't. I really say that. I played high school sports. I participated in speech and debate, chess teams. They put me out of chess because I was really bad at chess. So I felt okay about that. But everything that Ron said is true from a sports guy's perspective. I believe in kids need opportunities. You touch children, you have no idea how you impact them. You use the number of 2 million who are part of your organizations. We have 12 million who participate in sports and activities. Our association, I work for National Federation of State High School Associations, and we work with 50 member state associations in the District of Columbia. And through them, we serve 12 million children across the country. A lot of your kids probably participated, they use our rules. If you got any kids that are cheerleaders, they use our rules. Any band folks, we handle that. Any Lincoln Douglas debaters, we pick the topics. So we're an active part of your school experience. But I can tell you, not every one of our children are going to go on to play for the NBA. Now all your students are going to go on to play for the NBA or MLB or NFL. So we have an opportunity to share with them just to make them a little bit better. And Rod is right. I followed him to more schools in Utah than you imagine. This is my 3rd time with him in a different school where he's been. And each school has been different. But they've always been interesting and exciting for me. I like to travel and meet people. I really do. That's really a fun part of what I do. Clint Hurdle, who is the Pittsburgh manager's, Pittsburgh Pirates baseball manager, told me something. I said, he and I were doing a school recognition program in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was cold and snowy. And I knew I was there, but they invited me. They gave me like a ham sandwich to fly in from Indianapolis to do it. But he had just won the National League Manager of the Year award. Just going back a few years. I'm thinking, why are you here? You're the National League Manager of the Year. You should be like celebrating or being a student at some place that's going to pay you on ham sandwich. And he told me something. He told the kids there, it's a leadership conference. He said, there are 3 questions that you should apply some important life decisions to. New jobs, dating somebody, just 3 questions. If those decisions can meet the 3 questions, it's probably a good idea to go ahead. And I'll tell you before I tell you 3 questions. This was 15, 16 years ago. And I've seen him since, and he doesn't know me. I mean, I'm a fanboy of him, but he doesn't know me. And that's okay. But so in my mind, I'm playing that every major decision I made didn't meet with these 3 questions. Every girl I liked or wanted to date didn't meet these 3 questions. Any job I took didn't meet these 3 questions. I can honestly tell you, in my life, 5 times a day. Now, do I still date that girl? Yeah, I knew she did. But I dated her because she was just that particular job that seemed really attractive and offered a lot of big money opportunities. Yeah, I took it. It didn't end well for me there. So the 3 questions work for me. And maybe they'll work for you. First question is, can you trust the person? So if someone's sitting across from you is offering you a job, or talking about your future, or potential love interest, or maybe a possible spouse, can you trust that person? Sorry. Can you trust that person?
again, it worked for me. Second question was, do they see value in you? The person across that desk or across the dinner table, do they see any value in you? They really see what you can be. And the third question is, will they make you better? Now again, I rack my brain and I fly a lot of miles, and so I'm often sitting in airports or planes, and I just kind of think, well, back in 19 so-and-so, when I dated Susie Jones, did she see any value in me? Or could I trust her? Or would she make me better? And I'm like, man, not much, but she sure was pretty. By the time I took the job with Xerox Corporation, could I trust my man who hired me? Did he see something into me? Was he going to pour something into me to be a better employee? Yeah, he did. Because if he did, I'd still be there, right? So those three things, those three questions from Coach Hurdle have always just resonated with me. I'm in awe of being around men and women like you because you touch our future. And I only get to speak to folks in the school business. No one from business board invites me to speak anywhere because they don't know who the National Federation is, which is kind of funny because we shape so many lives through what we do. But even your aspect of what you do in the school district is so unique, but it has the same purpose. I can tell you all the statistics about kids who are involved in sports and activities. They get better grades. They learn how to work with others who don't look like them. They learn how to be a team. They understand being on time. They understand they don't quit. Or if you have a problem or a barrier, a challenge, you figure out how to work around it. Aren't those the same qualities you teach? It's no different. I don't care if you're the first string quarterback on your school's football team, or you're a guy who's painting the sets on the play to make the sky look blue. You don't have to be the lead actress on the play, or the starting quarterback, or the head cheerleader. It's all those benefits are transferred to all those who participate. And from what God is saying, from my experience of being here, the short period of time I've been here, those are the same benefits that you all have, young people. We want kids to be a part of stuff. By a show of hands, how many have a AAA card? Okay. How many have like a Walmart, Sam's? Is there Walmart here? Sam's Club? Okay. How many of you have a membership? Okay. You do that for a number of reasons. One, you get discounts, right? You get access to some deals that come through. Do you have Panera's here in Utah? Panera Bread? No? Yes, no? Okay. Okay, for those who know what Panera is, it's a restaurant, and it's still a healthy kind of food. But Panera, and we have one in Indianapolis, Panera has this new little key card swipe thing. So when you go, they take your little tag off your keys and swipe the machine. They can say, hey, Mr. Hopkins, how you doing? You've accumulated enough points, you get a free cookie. I need a free cookie like I need diabetes. I don't need any more free cookies. Right? But I just want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of the Panera Club. They send me an email and they change their menu over from fall to winter. And I want to be a part of the Panera Club. But so do our kids. They want to be a part of something. Because if we don't create an environment for them to be a part of something, they'll find something else to be a part of. Now, those are the things we don't want. The difference between the starting quarterback of your local high school and the leader of the biggest gang in Utah, if you have gangs in Utah, is motivation and purpose. That's the only difference. Structure is the same, but the quarterback wants to play football, win ball games, and represent the school. The gang leader wants to do bad things, increase his or her wealth, and own territory and property or space in the community. They all have the same hierarchy. So we have to be careful about what our kids do and the opportunities we provide to them, because they're going to find something. But I would prefer it's something that we do. If it's CTSOs, great. If it's Band, great. If it's chess club, great. French club, I don't care what it is. Get them involved. They make for a better student. And I also tell people when they ask me to talk about things, you might not see it now, how it all kind of plays out, but let them graduate and they become adults. Some might go to college, some might be the auto shop owner, some might develop trace minerals and do really good things, but ultimately they're going to be tax-paying adults. Tax-paying adults, hopefully in your school district. So when you have to float that referendum that you need a new something and fill in the blanks, we will hope that their experience in your school district is positive enough that they'll vote for that millage for you to buy that new thing or build that new thing. Just my thoughts, and I'll get right into my talk about, I want to thank Rod again for allowing me to come. The one school, the Silver Hawks?
Silver Wolves.
Silver Wolves. What's the name of the school?
Fremont.
So I go to Fremont and speak. And he's telling me the story about how the farmers bring the livestock into the parking lot. And I'm thinking, this is like a barbecue? Because understand, I'm from the south side of Chicago. I'm a Chicago kid. Bears, Bulls, straight up Chicago. So the visual of seeing, I kept seeing like Texas Longhorns in the school parking lot, just milling around. I'm thinking, that's crazy. Who cleaned up the poop? I mean, that's what I'm thinking, right? I just thought it was mind-blowing when they did that as part of the community service, because I think the animals got inoculated, right?
Yeah, there was some stuff done to them.
Yeah, so you don't have it in the south side of Chicago, folks. But that's how you all are ingrained and woven into the community. You know this. I'm speaking to the choir. The problem is when we talk to people, and I get right to speak, the people who are there know all the good stuff. It's the other ones who aren't there should hear this good stuff. So let me get started. I want to be respectful of your time. I'm an advocate for students. I'm the biggest fan of kids of all sorts. Even though my organization represents sports and activities, I'm a kid guy. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I see the positive in things. It's easy to say no. You know, part of my responsibility, I handle 2 sports nationally. I handle the sports of baseball and wrestling. And we're kind of in the mix with this wrestling thing and the shenanigans in New Jersey. But when I worked in the Pennsylvania High School Association office, we always had to make determinations about eligibility and transfers. And we always ended up saying no. No, you can't transfer. No, you can't do this. No, you're not eligible. No, 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 no. It is really easy to say no. When my daughter was growing up, Daddy, can I get a horse? No. We don't have any room in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for a horse. Daddy, can I do this? No. We have to work to see how we can get to yes. Now, no might still be the ultimate answer, and for a lot of good reasons. But now, in the twilight of my career, I work real hard to see how I can get to yes. And it makes it a little interesting, more challenging. I could say no a lot of stuff, because it's so easy. People are like, okay, well, but how can we get to yes? So, I love kids because they're so bright and so funny, and they tell the truth. I'll go to a school that has had a hazing experience, and the adults will tell me, this is a one-time thing, we had one kid who transferred here, and he brought all this heck with him. Then I'll say, well, can you have a student give me a tour of your building? You know, let's get the real good kids, right? Susie, take Mr. Hopkins around. We don't get around that first corner. Susie, what's really going on? Oh, Mr. Hopkins, the wrestling team's doing so-and-so, the basketball team's doing so, the cheerleaders are so-and-so. The kids always tell the truth. I just think it's hilarious. I was in a school in Connecticut last winter, and very affluent school. When I got there, Maseratis, BMWs, Porsches, in the parking lot. And so I'm talking to the assistant superintendent. I says, man, you guys pay well. I need a job up here. And he says, that's not hard. We can't afford these things. Those are the kids' cars. He says, we got the Jettas and 85 Broncos in the back of the school. And I'm thinking, well, how are kids driving Maseratis? They had some cars, I'm gonna be honest with you folks. They had some cars with names I can't pronounce because I've never heard of before. They were that exotic. Well, it's right outside New York City. So all the moms and dads hop on the train and work at Wall Street. So that's where they get the influx of money. Most of the teachers in the school district can't live in the school district because they can't afford to live in the school district. So, long story short, so we're talking about hazing. They want to make sure that the bases are covered, that there's no incidents in the school. So we bring in the captain. So I'm talking to the captain, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. I tell them about me playing sports, because that always connects kids with me. I played sports, I played high school basketball, football, college football. And I said, do you have any problems in your school? Now, the adults told me, assistant superintendent, principal, AD, we're good. We don't have any problems in this school. First person raised his hand, ice hockey captain. He said, well, man, you know, great Connecticut accent. Well, you know, Mr. Hopkins, we welcome our freshmen. We hold them down and shave their heads. And I said, well, what do you shave into their heads? Oh, no, we just shave their heads, they're bald. I said, what if the freshmen don't like that? Well, that's too bad, we have to just suck it up. Okay. Then the head cheerleading coach tells me something. And then every team I'm going down the road has a way to welcome new students to the team. So that was like a Friday night. That was a Thursday night. So Friday morning, I get to talk to the coaches and the administration. And so I'm talking to the person who brought me in, the assistant superintendent, said, you know, before we have this presentation, I gotta let you know that half of your teams are hazing the new members. And her face turned blood red. And I said, I don't know how to help you now. But you want me to stand in front of your administration, the teachers, the coaches, and say everything is fine. But everything is not fine. And you have a culture of hazing that if you don't put it in check, it's going to be a problem. So they allowed me to do what I do. We talked about it, and I didn't get invited back. So I don't know if they fixed it or they don't want to hear from me anymore. So Ron is the only person who's invited me back. I can say this is my 300th presentation in 19 years, in 23 years. Starting back when I was in Pennsylvania, moving to the National Federation. I've only been invited back one time by that man. And I've been here in your state 3 times. So I appreciate that. I don't know if I haven't done a good job in the other 299 presentations, or it's not a real sexy topic. It really isn't. There's nothing attractive about it. You won't walk right in and say, man, I feel so much better about my life now after hearing Elliott Hopkins talk about hazing. You won't say that, and that's okay. But hopefully you walk right in and say, what are we doing in our programs? How do we welcome students to our school, to our teams, to our CTSOs, to anything we have as a school? How are we putting our best foot forward to make someone feel welcome? Because we now understand if they're part of something, they do better. They represent us better. They're fully engaged in the school life. All the positive attributes that they can do, we want them to experience that. So all my contents are professional and academic research. Image and topics are disturbing. And this is not only for the child of the members of your team and programs, this is for your kids as well. When I was going through this, my daughter was going off to college, and I'm doing these presentations, and all of a sudden she wants to join the Greek life at a little school outside of Columbus, Ohio. So I'm all paranoid about this. Don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. She came home one day, and all her jeans, the pockets were cut out. Now I bought the jeans, and when I bought them, all the pockets were in. I'm just saying, not that I'm clocking the jeans, but I'm kind of clocking the jeans to see why all the pockets cut out. She had wanted to join the sorority, and the color of the stitching in the jeans were the same colors of the sorority's colors. So in their mind, you can't earn the right to wear those colors until you become a full-fledged member of the sorority. I'm saying, that's crazy. I bought these at Penny's. I didn't know there were these particular colors. I just bought them because they were on sale. I got a couple pair, get you ready to go to college, whoop, you're gone, right? So we had a long discussion about that. And she said, well, sometimes I need a heavier coat. I said, well, I bought you a nice coat. She said, but it's okay when we're going from class to class, but on occasion I have to be outside for an extended period of time. I said, well, are you working as a bouncer at night? What do you mean you're outside? Well, when my big sisters go to the library to study, my sorority line of girls who want to be part of sorority have to stay out in front of the library and protect them. I said, well, do you have weapons? I mean, who's going to come into a library? I mean, are there paper cuts involved here? What's going on? And so they have to stand in front of the library in a pose like this. I said, are you posing to run out, or are you posing to run in? She said, no, we have to do this so they can study, no one bothers them. So as you can imagine, I'm losing my mind. I'm paying all this money for you to freeze to death, and all your clothes are cut up. So then my grandmother passed away. She was 94 when she passed. Lived in Chicago. So it's my daughter's great-grandmother, obviously. So we got to go to the funeral. So I got to take her out of school, and she went to Denison University, right outside Columbus, a little small private school up on a hill. Might have 2,000 in the school. It's pretty small. It was really kind of cute school. So I said, Grandma Lil passed. We got to go. Viewing's on Friday, funeral on Saturday. We'll be back in school by Monday. Can't come. I said, big what? Big sister Barbara says I can't come. I got to stay on campus. I said, okay, look. I'm good if you want to be involved in school life. I'm good you want to be a sorority member. I said, I support all this. I said, but it's your great-grandmother. I said, get big sister Barbara on the phone. Let me talk to big sister Barbara. But she wouldn't do that. Short end of the story is, she was with me. We buried my grandmother and her great-grandmother. And I happened to call the sorority headquarters in Chicago and gave a piece of my mind. The beauty of Greek life, fraternities and sororities, is what? Brotherhood, sisterhood. We're doing this thing together to make the world a better place. That's what I always thought was. I didn't have an opportunity to pledge anything when I was in school. I was playing football, and that was like a fraternity unto itself. I didn't have any more time available. With all the fraternity folks I know, it was always about community, family. You can't have community or family if you don't let a family member go bury a loved one. So we had a long talk from Indianapolis to Chicago back again. And she finally got out of it. She graduated. She bought her own pants with pockets in, and her own long coats and things like that. I believe we can end hazing now. Folks, I have Google alerts on my phone, and maybe you all do. And I have it set up at any time the word hazing and high school, my phone buzzes. My phone's been buzzing for quite a while this school year. Byron, Illinois. I've never been to Byron. I don't know if Byron existed. Byron, Illinois, in November, made a small school, made the playoffs with Illinois High School State Championship. So what do you think they do? One would think we get ready for our first championship, we practice hard, we get all the fans situated, We got buses going to Champaign-Urbana where the championship is. We're gonna have some good hard practices, get ready for the championship. They decide that all the freshmen have to run across the field naked with Oreo cookies in their butt cheeks. I can't make this up. And if you drop the Oreo cookie, you're off the team. Now, my first question is, who came up with that crazy idea? Second question is, where is the adult in the room? And third question is, where is the leadership on the team? So they ran across the field, but naked with Oreo cookies. You know, I like Oreo cookies, especially the golden ones. With double stuff sometimes, you get those. Every time I see them in the aisle in the grocery store, I feel a different kind of way about Oreo cookies now. I mean, I look forward to the Christmas version when they have the red cream in the middle, and the golden ones, and the double stuffed ones, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go to Twizzlers or something. I can't do cookies. The superintendent said, this was not a hazing. The kids are gonna be suspended because of indecent exposure. So, they were suspended, and I never wish this on kids, but they lost the championship game. And a little bit of part of me says, good. Because I didn't want them to win, because it would feel like you're rewarding bad behavior. Young man in Atlanta, Georgia, 14, just been named to the team as a starting quarterback of the football team. So they get into the locker room, and they, look, if something good happens to you all, I would imagine you are close enough to say, hey, Chad, congratulations. You got the new job at Fremont, hey, congratulations. You're at Lehigh now, congratulations. We wish you the best luck. We're gonna miss you here, but we're glad you got the job. I would think most of us would say that if you knew the person. Charlie, you're going to Bonneville, hey man, wish you the best luck. We're gonna miss the times of doing snowmobiling and all that, but keep in touch. We'll see you down the road. The team decided we're going to beat up the new quarterback. So they hold him down on the benches and they jump on his arm. Now think about it. He's the new quarterback. What does he do with his arm? He throws the football. They jump on his arm and they break his arm. And they videotape it. And that's the thing about kids and cell phones. I believe kids are the smartest generation we ever had, but boy, they do dumb stuff. If you're gonna commit a crime, don't have any record of it, all right? Let's not tape this, but they tape it, and it goes viral. So they hold the kid down, and they find the biggest guy on the team, and he jumps on his arm. You hear the snap on the video. His arm is broken, he calls his mother, calls the father, they call the attorney, then they call the school, and the coaches, and the principal, and superintendent. Everybody's getting sued. The coaches lose his job, and people are now picking sides. And you got a community who's in flux. It never ends well, folks. A hazing incident never ends well for you, the adult. They never have and never will. People's careers are changed. In certain instances, people's careers are ruined. Let me get through this. I got to talk fast. Hazing is not new. It's been around for a long time. Back in 387 BC, around the time of the Greek philosopher Plato, it was an opportunity in those days to bring someone along who was interested in being a part of you. So this is like the original CTSO stuff, right? Blacksmith, horseshoeing. We're not talking about algebra and sciences here. Just how the goldsmith, how the blacksmith, a carpentry group. If you want to be a part of my carpentry guild, well, better yet, if you want to learn how to be a blacksmith, sir, you're going to have to carry all the horseshoes and start the fire and hold the horse's leg while I put the shoe on. And if you get kicked, that's part of on-the-job training, right, by the horse. It kind of started back then. Wasn't meant to be a punishment, but it was meant for you to, quote unquote, pay your dues to understand all the rigors of that particular profession or sport. But back then it was profession. First fraternities were in high school. Most people don't realize that. There were literary organizations that had educational focus. College fraternal organizations started in the 80s. In 1800s, 1900s, high schools were joined by secret societies and rituals, handshakes, and special symbols. 1904, about half of the high schools had at least one fraternity, more social than educational. And then by the 1960s, all the high schools got rid of those fraternities. But they didn't get rid of the secret societies, special handshakes, or the symbols. 100% of high school students who join the group are at risk of being hazed. The lower the student's GPA, the greater the risk of being hazed. That's what the statistics show. Typically non-starters or in the case of activities, for those who aren't getting speaking parts in the play, for the folks who are doing maybe the building of the sets, painting of the sets, for those who aren't the folks out front are primary perpetrators. And we speak in terms of perpetrators. We talk about perpetrators, victims, and bystanders. High school students in this day and age do not distinguish between fun and hazing. A lot of them feel they had to do it, and over 90% of kids in high school belong to at least one group. Almost half of the students who belong to a group report they've been subjected to hazing activities. 43% report they've been subjected to humiliating activities. I can tell you, if I make your team and the coach gives me the criteria, if you can run the speed, shoot so many free throws, kick so many balls in the goal, if you can do that, you can make the team. If I do that, I expect to make the team. Give me the jersey, give me the playbook, and I'm good. Tell me when I got to come to practice. I'm good. I don't understand why we have to do more than that for someone to welcome someone to our programs. This is where it gets a little disturbing for me. 71% of students who are subjected to hazing report the following: get into physical fights. They're angry, and kids don't know how to communicate. Social media, we just don't. If Chad and I have a problem, then let's go to lunch and talk this thing out. I see your position, I hope you see my position. We can work this out as mature adults. Kids, nope, I'll see you in the hallway, I'll punch you in the nose. Or we're playing a contest, I'm gonna throw an elbow. Kids haven't figured that out yet. But they get into fights, they're either getting injured or hurting others, they're fighting with their parents, they have a hard time eating, hard time sleeping, which translates into they can't do a real good job in the classroom. If you're not eating well, not sleeping well, you have no reserves available to do a good job in your building. They feel angry, confused, embarrassed, or guilty. And here's the thing that gets me, that we don't understand, we don't talk about much. They become distrustful of adults. 1.5 million students are hazed a year. This is not college. I don't do college stuff. I don't have enough time to do college stuff. That doesn't excite me. High school is where my passion is with young people. 200 to 250 hazes a week. Now I will always present the most horrific, horrible examples of hazing. Those are the ones I hear the most about. But it doesn't mean that when the cheerleaders in a little school in Florida have to put Vaseline on their mouths and sing the cheers, that's a hazing. Because as far as I'm concerned, cheerleaders are known for what? Loud voices, right? What does putting Vaseline in your mouth and singing the cheers have to do with you being a member of the cheerleading team? It doesn't make any sense to me. Almost 40% believe they don't have anyone, they don't believe an adult will handle the situation. They don't feel they can come to an adult and talk about what happened to them. I hope those adults would be you. That a child in your school district feels comfortable enough for you to say, Mr. Chad, I got a problem. Dr. Belden, I got a problem. Can I talk to you? Definition, I'm not going to read it to you. It brings, the theory is we want to bring the new people into the program and welcome them and indoctrinate them into how we do things. When I was at Fremont, Silver Foxes, I imagine everyone wanted, Foxes or Hawks?
Wolves.
Wolves. I'm way off, all right? Silver Wolves, I still have the Hattie Gate. The Silver Wolves, that there's a way we want you to be. We want you to carry yourself a certain kind of way. We want you to be on time, be respectful, make sure you wear the proper uniform. When you're out about in the community, don't act like knuckleheads. When you wear our colors and you're part of who we are. There's some things I think we as adults, we're kind of okay with that. How you conduct yourselves, not only in school, out of school, in the community. But this hazing thing is different. Veterans act typically in secrecy on how they welcome someone to the program. The belief system is tradition, attitude, process, and context. We had a tradition as a kid growing up in Chicago. My dad would cut the turkey. And we never had sharp knives in our house. I don't know why. But he would butcher that turkey up. It looked like it was in a car accident. And for years, that was his thing. Thanksgiving, here comes Dad, cut the turkey. He slash it and hack it. And I never knew why. So I go up, get married, kids. I want to do it tradition. But I want a different tradition. I want a sharp knife. So I cut the turkey, so I have to hack it and slash at it. But that was our tradition all growing up as a kid. It was our tradition. It's what we did. That's what I knew. Didn't mean it had to keep going on that way. At some point in time, we had to figure out we needed sharp knives in the house so we could cut the turkey. It's a history of process and acceptance. We always cut the turkey. Dad always cut the turkey with the donuts. Attitude. So in terms of high school, I want to be a silver fox because hawks, doves, whatever. I want to be one of them. Because if I
all the Weaver Eye people are loving this.
Because if I can be a silver wolf, I have status in the community and status in school. Kids want to accept that role. If I'm playing a sport at Fremont and I'm a silver wolf, I can walk around the mall or the community with my chest poked out a little bit further because of who I am. So all that attitude that comes with being a member of the team gets transferred to the transfer kids who are coming in on the team and the freshmen. Process. Hazing typically is a process of determining if you're worthy to be a silver wolf. This example is a young man at all-boys school in the state of Washington, and it's what you either get burned or get caned to be part of the spirit squad. Now think about that. I gotta choose between getting burned or being caned to cheer. Well, that came out. And it's a private school, so as a parent, I'm paying my kid to go there, right? So I'm really paying for you to either burn my kid or to beat him with a cane. It doesn't get rough. And context. The hazing experience, we want to validate the group experience. We want to know that You want to be a part of something, you want to be a part of something, if you go through these things, you'll be bigger, stronger, faster, more recognized in the community, and you become a super wolf. And that's where you want to be. The victims believe they didn't have a choice. Some say let's just get it over with, because once it's done, I'm in, and leave me alone. It doesn't work that way. 3 types of hazing: social, psychological, and physical. Different methods. I'm not going to tell you all the methods. I want to get to the gist of it all. That's the other way to get into that spirit get burned. We don't know what happens to a young person when they go through a hazing situation, how they're affected. We don't know what seed is planted in their mind. These are young people. Their brains haven't fully developed yet, right? So we don't know what's in the back of their mind. Remember Columbine shooting? Okay. They were reacting because they were being bullied by who? The football team. We don't know what was in those 2 young men's minds going through that bullying experience. Think about it. Every day you come to school, someone's pushing you to a locker, calling you a geek or a loser or a dweeb or whatever the current vernacular is right now in school. Every stinking day, someone's doing that to you. And as adults, at some point you say, you know what, enough of this, I'm calling the police. Or I'm going to transfer, or I'm doing something else. I'm going to remove myself from the situation so you don't pick on me anymore. Kids, they don't process things like that. We don't know what the psychological effects are. And the psychological effects are not only on the victim, but also on the perpetrator who's doing it and the bystanders. I have one hazing incident that just resonates with me, and I've covered thousands over the years. This one, Darian Denson, September 2010. It's 9 years old. You're like, get over it, but I can't. 140-pound, 14-year-old playing at Dr. Phillips High School in Orlando. Right outside, you can see Disney from the windows of the school. He goes into the varsity locker room, and he shouldn't be there. He's a freshman. They beat him, they choke him, they rob him of some money and a rosary. Darian's father is a minister in the community. Then they throw him in the dumpster. And I think because as a parent, and now as a grandparent, this just really touches my heart more than all the hazings do. This was just, I feel different about this one. 3:30 comes, practice is over, 5 o'clock comes, kids are going home. 6 o'clock comes, no Darian. 6:30, Mrs. Denson's a little concerned, and she goes to the school to say, hey, have you seen a little skinny black kid, 140 pounds? And who's at school late? Custodians. Cleaning up, getting the floors ready, getting things ready for the next day. And the guy said, hey lady, everybody's gone. I'm just finishing up my garbage, and I'm about to be gone. So he throws back the lid, he's about to throw his bags into a dumpster. Who's in the dumpster? Darian. They threw the young man away like he was trash. And I think that's what really strikes at me. A human life, and they threw it in the trash can. So, I felt a certain kind of way of emotion about it. I don't know these people. Mrs. Jensen felt a certain kind of way about it, and it never sat well with him. With Mr. Jensen or Mrs. Jensen. But Pastor Jensen was a man of faith. And he was praying his way through this. Mrs. Jensen might have been a lady of faith, but she was struggling. The next day she gets in the Ford Explorer and drives to the school. She gets increased speed and drives to the pastor sign that says, welcome to Dr. Phillips High School. She drives past the sign that says football fields this way, school that way, auditorium this way. She drives past the sign that says football, stadium parking lot. She drives past the fence that says, fence, don't come through. She drives through the fence, onto the field. At the 50-yard line in the practice field, she gets out and starts giving them all kind of business. Somebody got arrested that day. Guess who got arrested? Mrs. Dixon. The young man who did this to her son never saw any punishment. They went on to win the state championship in Florida, and the kids were part of that, went on to receive scholarships in big schools, not only in Florida, not only in Florida, but around the country. University of Miami, Florida State, University of Florida. It bothers me. It always has and always will. How do we stop it? We have to build trust. We have to be empathetic and show our young people that we have to work really hard to be respectful. We have to be transparent and communicate. Sometimes in our coaching world, the sports world, parents are a four-letter word. We don't want to hear from this lady again, but she thinks her son is the next Terry Bradshaw or Joe Montana, and the kid can't hold the ball with four hands. I don't want to hear from her again. We have to engage these people because we need a lot of eyes on our young people. We have to be accountable and change the belief system. Reinforce your children's self-esteem and their self-worth and importance. Don't send mixed messages. And don't allow your parents to send mixed messages. Because people will say, well, you went through the hazing. I went to Fremont. I was hazed in Fremont. Look how I turned out. Suck it up, be a man. It's a different day. Different day, different time. No one has the right to embarrass, instill fear, inflict pain on a child, just to be a part of something. You have to figure out the best way to invite kids to be your programs and make it engaging, something that they'll be proud of and you'll be proud of, to stand in front of your colleagues here and say, we do this at Bonneville. Every person who does a CTSO in Bonneville, we welcome them with a flower or a brick or a spade, because we're going to build a new life. Think about that. What are Bonneville's colors?
Gold and blue.
Blue,
Or yellow.
blue and yellow?
Yellowish.
Yellowish, blue and yellowish. I got a lot of blue and yellowish trowels that when you come to this program, we're going to give you one. There's going to be a presentation, nothing formal, we don't need the news there. All of us are there say, you know what, Chad, blue and yellowish trowel. And he's going to say, what's this for? Because this is the tool you're going to need to start building a new life. And we're going to help you. Is that so hard? It's better than taking that trowel and sticking it in places he doesn't want. Okay? Because we have schools that do that in this country. Let's make this thing a positive thing. Coach, adult advisors, you understand your school district working policy better than I do. Because that's a more frequent policy that gets spread around, bullying policy. But hazing is the one that'll get you. You don't have a good hazing policy. Understand, what are your thoughts about welcoming someone to your program, to the club, to the school? And if you don't have a policy, okay, develop one. Because if you don't, these young people will. I can guarantee you, you won't like the way they develop. Have something. Matter of fact, I believe in locker room justice, and I know that term sounds really kind of, but I believe the kids in a team or a program or a club understands the value of that club. And if I got a problem, what's your name? Adriana. If I got a problem with Adriana, Mr. Belknap can only say certain things to her, because she's a student. If she and I are in the same club together, I can say, Adriana, look here, girl. Girlfriend, you show up late all the time, you're not wearing the right stuff, but we gotta do this today and you weren't there. We're gonna clean up stuff and you come dressed in a dress. You need to be in jeans and boots. I need you to be a better teammate, groupmate, friend, whatever it is. I need you to be that. and we're peers, and we're high school kids together. He's limited to the things he can say. But I can say a lot more because we're like in this thing together, right? I call it locker room justice. I'm not saying we're going to beat anybody. I'm just saying there's certain things that we can say for those who are in the same program, group, organization, because we have some familiarity. We're all doing the same thing because we want to do it. If Chad is to keep wearing ties, and we got to be in blue jeans, because we're behind the Longhorns of Fremont on the steer day, Chad, dude, why do you keep showing up in a tie? We got boots up to here, we got shovels, we're trying to get this stuff off the ground into the truck so cars can come the next day. And you just keep going to church. I need you to be a better teammate. I can say that. Dr. Belknap can't say that to him. Because he says to him, he thinks, oh, Dr. Roddy doesn't like me anymore. He's all against me. If I say that to him, he might say, yeah, you might be right. But we're teammates. We've been in this group together for a lot of years. We're seniors together now. Maybe I should look at what I'm doing and dress appropriately. Folks, I'm near the end of my time. I want to end with something that Dr. Maya Angelou said. That courage is the most important value and virtue of all. Without courage, our young people can't do much. And Adriana is crying when I leave today in my rental car going back to my hotel. If I don't have courage, I would never walk up and say, hey, miss, anything wrong, can I help you? If I don't have that courage, I walk past and say, ugh, sucks being her, she's got a sucky life. I will get in my car and go about my business. But with courage, I can say, I don't know you. You look like you're a little bit in peril. Maybe I can help you. And she'll say, go away, yeah, whatever. And I'll do that. But we have to instill that in our young people, but it's always based around courage. Because you can't be consistently kind or fair or humane or generous without courage. It's a hard concept to sell to young people. But we gotta have it. Because if you don't have it, sooner or later, you just ignore things. And because it's too hard to reach out and talk to someone. You know, I often close when I see young people, you know, I said, when you all get on the bus to go home from this event, and you see me on the side of the road, with my hood open on my car, and I'm bending over looking at it, I would hope one of you on this bus would say, hey, bus driver, slow down and see if we can help Mr. Hopkins. Now, I'm not saying you got to jump out and change the tire or put a new transmission in for me. I just like for you all to have enough courage to say, can we call somebody? My dad owns a shop. My dad knows a guy who owns a shop. Just have human decency to try to help me out if I'm jammed up somewhere. That's all I got. I'd be happy to answer any questions or address anything else you want me to address, but we're all in this together. Your kids or our kids, we gotta get more kids involved in programs because we know statistically they become better for it. I don't care what the program is. I mean, I'm a sports guy because that's what I've done. That's what I work for. But from what Ron said, there's so much value in what you provide, the service you provide. And to be honest with you, I didn't know that before. All these years, I never knew you would have that kind of impact with children. We got to do a better job of promoting what you all do. The community needs to know what you do. Their tax dollars are going to you. They need to know their money's being well spent, because that way maybe you can ask for a little bit more and do more, right? So, thank you very much.